Okay, Shalom. Okay, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakaga Dash. Double honors to our apostles of Great Millstone, our elders of GMS. Okay, and a salutation and peace and blessings to you, hopeful elect of the children of Israel. Okay, I just want to make a quick video here. Because of what I see, especially when the missiles actually start flying, that billions of, I believe, a couple billion, if not more, are going to die when this war take place. And why I say that is, I just look at the population of these nuclear-powered nations. For example, like, let me do this here. I should have done this in the first place. I should have labeled it different. Okay, here we go. There are 9 countries possess nuclear weapons. The United States, which the United States is what? With all the so-called immigration crisis, at the borders, that increased that number in the United States. So the United States population is, I would imagine, is around 370 million possibly. Never about giving no false information. It says 331.9 million. That's as of 2021. Okay, cool. So let me go back to that. Okay. The United States, Russia's put probably around 150, 160, 160 million. France, China. Okay. And the main characters here is China, which is over 1 billion. And India, clearly over 1 billion. And Japan's not nuclear power, but I think they may be pursuing it. I know they're putting a whole lot of money into the Defense Department now. But go back here. $1.4 billion. 1.42 billion. So, and they're nuclear power. And all nuclear powers are going to be targeted. All nuclear powers. But it's not going to waste all of China. Because the heathens are going into slavery. So there's going to be millions of them spared. But 1.4. Okay. And I can only assume Japan because the U.S. military is stationed there. Okay. Okay. It's around 10 to 25.7 million. Huh. I always thought Japan was a much higher than that. Total population in Japan. I always thought they were much higher than that. Okay, let's. Okay, okay. I don't no need to do Russia, France, China, the United Kingdom, Pakistan, and India. Okay, let's do Pakistan and India. $245 million. Okay, in India. $1.4 billion. And India and Pakistan are nuclear powered. And since we know Iran is going to get hit eventually, what's their population? $87.92 million. So these numbers, we're touching close to, if you add them all up, close to 3 million, if not more. Because like I said, I always thought China, not China, but Japan was over 1 billion as well. Okay, so who knows? I maybe, these fools are known to get shit wrong anyway. Okay, India and North Korea, which is another Mobite nation. Those are Mobites. North Korea, South Korea as well. Those are Mobites. $25 million. So you can see them great. Those are great numbers from what I've looked up so far. So when this thing kicks off, there's going to be mass deaths. Mass deaths. Okay, let me look at this list here. So I can let me go back. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So there's 2 of them on the list that are over 1 billion, period. And they're going to get hit hard. Every last one of these nuclear powers is going to be targeted. Every last one of them. And then you have to add on those areas where the U.S. has bases and the population around those bases. Man, these numbers is going to be, this death is going to be at horrendous numbers when it's all settled and done. But at the same time, there's going to be a lot left afterwards, to build the kingdom. So it's not, how could I say this? It's not so far-fetched that maybe 3 billion, because there's 8 billion people, 8+ billion people on the planet. You can't even dismiss that possibly half of them may die. And especially when all shit hits the world, when shit hits the fan, and then ultimately the missiles, there's going to be mass deaths. Mass death, So it gives you something to think about, like this, here, let me grab it. Like it says, it says here in Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And understand that Jake has been targeted and will be targeted around the world. And remember the scriptures, we were scattered, you know, we were scattered. The four corners of the earth. I'm looking for the one in Deuteronomy here. Okay, and that then the Lord thy power, Deuteronomy 30:3, then the Lord thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations. And have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither the Lord thy power has scattered thee. Because that's the ultimate goal by these devils, man, is to rid the world of Israelites, which is impossible. But that doesn't dismiss the fact they're going to try. When they know these scriptures, because they have scholars that study these scriptures, the whole time they've been looking for a way around to beat the prophecies. This whole time, man. That's why they come up with the school systems. That's why they got total control of medicine. That's why they have total control of around the world of governments and militaries and so on. You know, they covered all the corners in hope to destroy the children of Israel. And not just that, and what I'm giving reference to is the scripture in Deuteronomy where the Lord said they were able to change the ordinance, you know, of the stars and the moon and so on, and able to search the seas and the heavens. The children of Israel will cease to be a nation. Okay, so thinking about this is Jake being scattered. They're going to be targeted around the whole planet. You know, so there's going to be mass deaths, man, mass deaths. You know, hey, the Lord is a man of war. And he's coming to take back what's his, you know, all of existence, you know, all of existence, this whole entire planet Earth. He's coming to take hold of it. So there's going to be mass casualties. Mass casualties. Okay, nuclear weapons worldwide. Let me do this too. And you know they say that the world is going to cease to end. If World War III was to take place. Shows you that these people don't know what they're even talking about. You know, because not all the nuclear weapons are going to be used, and our Earth is still going to be here. These fucking idiots. You know, I'm talking about it's guaranteed of the end of civilization, life as we know it on Earth. They don't have no clue what they're even saying. You know, because that's ultimately the Lord's. That's its plan to have this war take place. So how can I word this? Projected numbers of deaths in World War III possibly. Just curious to see how to go. Estimated number of deaths in World War III. Let's see what it says here. World War III, 2027, 2035. World War III or World War III was the single most deadliest conflict in world history over time. It ain't been fought yet. Dumbass Google. Okay. Which war had the highest death rate? In World War II, 30 out of every 10,000 men in uniform perished. Ooh. Let's keep pulling up World War II. So military, those are military deaths. Come on, it won't let me make it small. Oh well, those are just military deaths, so add those numbers up. It's a lot of deaths. And I might have to do that. It's terrible. Why won't it let me do it? Oh well. With a nuclear explosion. My notifications is a nuclear explosion. World War III. In World War III, 2 billion. Ooh, there we go. World War III and World War III, 2 billion will die, it says. 2 billion will die. 2 billion will die, and life expectancy will get shorter. What will happen to us? Okay, so death, many deaths, and we know it's knocking now. World War III is escalating as each hour passes now. It's escalating. There's always something new popping off. Hey, we're getting what we prayed for. And if World War III started today, how many people do you think would die within the first 2 months? It's not going to last for years. You know, I can't even open that for some reason. Well, let's check and see. The world currently has 8 billion people. And this is from Lance Berg. Somebody that's probably nowhere near the truth. Was there 8 billion people? Was there ever a point in human history where it had only 6 billion people? Okay, here we are. Okay, let's see what he comes up with. 1999, world population was 6 billion. Yep, it was 6 billion way back in the before times, maybe before you were born. So primitive dinosaurs walked. That's that trillions of years ago madness they come up with, like they do now. I was 35 years old then. Turns out what happened was humans continued to breed faster than we died, like always, and we've ended up at 8 billion. So prediction, we get back to where we are today in 23 years, like last time, and that means 2045. Humans are pretty resilient. We're the cockroaches of vertebrates. That's not a piece of information there. No worries, there are still lots of us. A shorter lifespan would bring us much closer to our historic average. Provided we don't go all new upon ourselves, I would guess it would be a minor blip in the long run. The Black Plague killed a third of Europe. Yeah, so it's not giving you nothing. And I'm going to try and open that one more time. How many people will most likely die in a nuclear World War III? Okay. deaths is very variable, making guessing almost impossible, of course, but you can guesstimate. However, using some calculation, we can determine the maximum amount of forces and civilians that could be killed in a Third World War. Generally, military will surrender after it has lost around 1.3 of all fighting forces due to the loss of morale, and a major war like World War III, if it were to start with the current tensions, would most probably include the military powers of most of NATO and the Middle East, which then may drag in another country such as Russia, China, maybe even the Koreas. Using these, we can calculate how many troops could die in the field by country. These numbers are if all countries were to surrender, at 1/3 of all troops killed or wounded in action. And this is the thing. Of course, those nuclear missiles are going to drop, but but as far as these military goes, they're going to end by Yahweh Shai. They're going to end by the Lord Himself vaporizing these armies. Because remember, the scripture says when they yes, durst turned to fight. You know, when they saw the mountain coming, they were so afraid, but yet there's fight. He put the spirit in them to continue to come after Him. So they're all going to vaporize, period. Whatever millions of soldiers that are, because there's going to be millions of soldiers out there fighting. You know, especially when it becomes a land war, and that land barren and desolate, and then the aircrafts and jets and all that. He's going to vaporize them all. So there we go with that. Billions, man. Can you imagine? Billions. Close with the scripture here. How can you not love this scripture? Revelation 11:14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The third woe cometh quickly. So, shalom.